What's up, family? It's your boy, man, that God King, coming out of Houston, Texas. How y'all doing, man? Coming back at you with another video, the part two. Where did the melanated people come from? Before we came into the earthly plane. I'm gonna just get right into it, cause I know we got to go to. A lot of us got to go to work. Just get right into the video. I'm just gonna go off where we left off from yesterday. The matter of every star and planet in the universe is created in 7 forms. In modern words, these are magnetism, electricity, light, ether, gases, liquids, and solids. The fourth substance, ether, is the essential supporting substance of the other 6. It is the womb of creation called space. Represents the woman. The womb represents the woman. We all know that. It is black in color, as one can see by looking out into the space at night. This absolute blackness called space is not only supports the other substances, but it also gives individual color to all objects, because the color black contains all other colors in itself. Different shades of black, different shades of brown. Hence, when the 1 billion, 8 million original gods, melanated gods, made themselves new bodies. They covered them in skin whose color is black, getting it directly from the ether, the womb, sun. Hey, simple as it is. That's simple. You feel me? Because the gods create all plants and animals from their own bodies, they need to have all colors stored in a single color in their creative germ, which is called dark dominant germ or gene. This source was called, modern people called, melanin. We're gonna get into that too. We're gonna definitely get into that. Upon arriving on the first earth, the one mind of God incarnated instantly in 1 billion, 8 million bodies. As already said, half of them, 4 million, were female, and the other half were male. Each pair of male/female gods are all called soulmates. They all create in soulmates pairs, even in large groups, because all creation has a male/female or negative/positive principle. Negative is not used in a derogatory sense, but as the complement of positive. The 8 million original people then proceed to instantly create perfect plants and animals, called the original totems, from which all evolutionary life forms evolve. They also proceed to create new stars and planets around the first earth by condensing part of their expanded mind. They started to expand spiritually. Spiritually, they're expanding into the physical aspect of life. After living on that first earth for more than 1,000,000,000,000 years, they finalized the plans for the excuse me, family. They finalized the plans for the completion of a new, much larger universe that they then gave birth to their descendants, the grandchildren. As then passed out of life, ascended, they passed, and then they gave the knowledge and moved on to the other realms. Before passing, they established the Society of the Black Nation. They established it by withdrawing from or leaving their divine unity in which they had existed for over 1,000,000,000 years. They did in this order to be able to bring new life into the world. New persons who had never existed before, such as you and me, or me, like myself and the melanated family in the diaspora, and where we at in the Americas, China, wherever the case may be. At the same time, in order to ensure the continued unity of eternity, these same 1,800,000,000 original gods continue to incarnate in the new body, the new people. Well, new bodies, people, same thing. They reside in the unconscious part of the person's mind, or called the mind of God, or the divine gift, or the of ancestral memory, or what modern people call the spirit of God. Thus, every black person, even though he or she is born brand new, it is simultaneously one of the billion original gods. Only personality is new, the spirit is old, even eternal. The billion, 8 million original people all withdrew from the divine unity except for 24 people, the 12 men and 12 women. They became the kings and queens called the 24 elders, who are really 12 gods or 12 soulmate couples. The 24 elders are called the custodians of the divine unity, which means they had all the knowledge, all the ancient teachings. The 12 gods chose 12 assistants, each are called the 244 chiefs. The gods divided the population into 12 tribes of 84 million people. They further divided each tribe into 6 clans and set 2 chiefs, a man and a woman, as the heads of each clan. The chiefs chose 1,000 people each and called them the 144,000 judges. They sent them in a soulmate pairs all over the earth to set the foundations for 72,000 cities. Each couple took about 14,000 people with them to establish their city. Melanin, we was rocking. We've been making moves out here. We've been making moves. I'm talking about making major power moves out here. This was the basic. That's just basic. You feel me? That was just the basic teachings. This was the basic organization of the black nation established by the original gods on the first earth. When other earths were completed and settlers sent to them, the organization was repeated and remains as a divine form of kingdom and queendom on every inhabited earth throughout the universe. The original gods also established 7 great rituals of initiation to be used by the leaders to elevate all new people to the divine unity. God's purpose for creating universe after universe is to increase himself/herself. Every person who completes the 7 great rituals becomes full God. Meaning this, you got like how they have each. It's a 7-minute completion. You got to go through. It's a process. You got to go through like the basic teachings, and then you go to the ancient then it comes down to the ancient teachings, exactly like the original people. At that moment of completion, the God rediscovers himself/herself anew, as if he/she had never existed before. That is how God renews himself/herself, thus overcoming the stagnancy that would be the case in eternally all-knowing being who never changes. In addition to the 7 great rituals, the original people also established many other rituals and customs covering an area of science and life. Then they initiated the leaders of their descendants into this knowledge before passing. Their initiation rituals have been fully transmitted from generation to generation since the beginning. That means how they say pass down the knowledge to the descendants, then the descendants pass it down to their children, then to the grandchildren, then so forth and so on. And we're gonna get into dark matter. What is dark matter? Is a form of matter that is thought to account for approximately 85% of the matter in the universe and about a quarter of a total energy density. The majority of dark matter is thought to be non-bionic in nature. possibly being composed of some as yet undiscovered subatomic particles. Because we come out there, then the documentation that we said we come from the star system, then we once were atoms, then we turn into stars, then we made of star dust. In the beginning there was melanin. Then it said that everything was melanin that come out the womb, the dark matter. Melanin followed by carbon. Carbon is a very important 666. It is the basis of the human body. 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 protons. It's what attaches you the physical melanin. Make sure you have pigment. So it deals more with your spiritual facilities or DNA. Melanin is a form of dark matter, and carbon is only a derivative from this melanin. And look, the pineal gland, like I said, we're going to get into it. I'm going to get into it a lot deeper into another video, but the pineal gland is a terrible thing to waste. You got the ultraviolet light proceeds into the pineal gland, which you know is like the sun. When the sun hits when you go outside, it hits the ultraviolet, it hits down to the vortex in the brain. I'll show y'all another time, but it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And then it reproceeds ultraviolet light direct by the spirit manifest. Your lamp. That's another one they call your lamp. The lamp in your brain. The nucleus of vision in the single point at which the strings of vision from where your two carnal meet. You got your oil. The pineal gland represents like the oil. You got the lamp. The lamp of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Watch this, family. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto the 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And five of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. That they were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. Hold on, family. And family, you can go check that. You can go check that scripture out. It's in Matthew the 25th chapter, starting at verse 2. It's a parable. It's a parable talking about how we can be foolish at times, and then you have the wise. It represents talking about with the body as well, but it's all cases, but really it's talking about with your pineal gland and your lamp represent the oil. Got to remember, the ultraviolet light represents the oil. The lamp of the body is the eye. If therefore thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. That's a script too, but I forgot which one it is. If it's in the Matthew the 25th chapter, you gotta go check that out. And I'm gonna break. It's a lot of scriptures that breaks this stuff down on a whole nother level. But we can go to the hieroglyphics text too. We're gonna get into that as well. Okay, what is melanin? A dark brown to black pigment occurring in the hair, skin, iris of the eye, in people and animals. It is responsible for tanning of skin exposed to sunlight. Why do people have different skin colors? Why? Our world is a wonderfully diverse and beautiful place with millions of species of animals and plants, capped off by the most dominant species, human beings. We are considered the human race that is spread across the globe as members of a single species, Homo sapiens. But we certainly don't look like this. But we don't look the same. From language, culture, and clothing to height, eye shape, and hair color. Human beings have many things that make over. We are all being to the same species, sharing our basic skin color should be the same. While some people fair and other dark. Melanin definition. Our skin is determined by a pigment called melanin. While everyone has melanin, both fair and dark skinned people, it comes in different forms of ratios. The two forms of melanin are called the illuminated and a pheomelanin. In eomelanin comes the primarily brown and black hues. Hue means color, by the way. While pheomelanin appears as red and yellow hues. It is produced by a specialized group of cells called melaninitis. And then it's a picture here, and I'll show y'all next time with breaking down the PowerPoint. Just like they have in different like a cartoon with a picture showing it, talking about with the nucleus. You got the rough endoplasmic reticulum, the mitochondrion, you got the Golgi asperatus, you got the melanocyte, you got the granules. How does it affect our skin color? Glad you might ask. Before we can find out why we have different skin colors, we should first understand the basic science behind our skin. Like we said in the Black Root Science, because we are made of stardust. We come from the womb, represents the solar system. We're made up of stardust, and we really really supposed to be eating plants and a lot of other things. Like if y'all heard of Dr. Sebi talks about that. First of all, there's no such thing as black, white, red. In terms of skin color, there are simply mixtures of color. They didn't say different shades of brown. There are simply mixtures of colors and variations depending on your genetic makeup. For example, someone with very dark skin can primarily produce eumelanin, while pale skin, hey, never mind, we'll get into that another time right there. Let's see. Need for vitamin D. We'll get to the other stuff another time. Just trying to go ahead and get this done. One of the key vitamins for human health is vitamin D, which helps the body absorb calcium and other minerals that are essential for bone growth and repair. Unfortunately, our primary source of vitamin D is linked to sunshine, back to the sun. The radiation actually helps to synthesize vitamin D in the skin in conjunction with another chemical. That's for the people living in colder climates or areas with experience darkness for extended periods of time throughout the year have dark-skinned men, blocking that radiation and thus lacking in vitamin D. Reverse adaptation occurred as humanity sprawled across the planet to different climes, and eventually their skin faded over the course of many generations. In Northern Europe or Scandinavia, where sunlight is limited for many parts of the year, people's skin is extremely pale, almost translate to ensure that when they are exposed to that precious sunlight, their skin is able to make enough vitamin D to keep the body healthy. And we're gonna get into more tomorrow, family. Y'all, take this time, get this information while it's here, and I'm gonna come back and get more into more of my slides I have on my PowerPoint. Just thank y'all for listening, and y'all have a great night. And like I said, come against negativity before y'all go to sleep. I'm telling you, it helps, and you speak positive over your life. Speak knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in your life. Don't you come against negativity. You come against evil entity, we know as demons, satanic. You come against that. You don't want anybody. I don't want any one of y'all having to deal with depression, heaviness. We'll get into all that stuff as well. Dealing with depression, heaviness, then spirits following you from different areas. You got to come against that negativity. I'm telling you, you got to speak it and come against it and then you got to replace it with positive in your life. Peace and love, family. Have a great night. Peace.